Alright guys, we're back for yet another Bleach Brave Souls video, and I think it's time to go ahead and talk about this upcoming part 2 of the anniversary now. I did at first want to upload it as it is, but I felt like a more informed video to get the news spread out and just get people to be a bit more knowledgeable about the banner is a lot more needed. So if you guys want to check out the reaction, I recommend going to the stream that I did earlier today. So, we're getting 1000 Year Blower for part 2. I mean, it's to be expected. It's always gonna be 1000 Year Blower at the end of the day. And we're getting Toshiro and Sajin, who were actually leaked, but the third character was Soi Fon. I like the selection of characters. I don't think it's the worst. A lot of people are calling this an L of an anniversary because of the character choicing, but it is what it is. Look, lads, we're gonna get Rukia and Asna and Byakuya later on down the line. It's just gonna take time. So for now, we got these characters. It is what it is. So yeah, Toshiro is gonna be the heart character. Sajin is gonna be the brave battle character. Again, I don't like the idea of this. And then Soi Fon is gonna be yet another power character. And these are gonna be the individuals. We're on Soi Fon, it's bad. There's only Zamari, Zalaparo, and Stark. L, massive L. This is absolutely terrible. Sajin, he's got Yami, which is alright, solid. You can use him in Guild Quest. He's a bit older. He's about to become a year old, and Wonderwise is better, but this guy can work well if you have Yuha and Byakuya paired up. Like, the damage to weaken enemies is so good. Abirama, Nad Link, I mean, you can use him in Guild Quest, I guess. And then this Gin is just fodder, just a Link. Toshiro's banner is bad. It's bad. Sure, there's Ginjo, which you can use to buff Ruruka. He's only going to be good once we get another new heart human, and right now Ruruka has been completely replaced by the new 9th anniversary Grammy. This Ilford is just whatever, this Aizen, nothing too crazy. And those are the individual banners, and then you have the main banner. So let's just go over the characters real quick. So Toshiro, on the other hand, he is going to be a ranged heart unit that can inflict freeze. The EX move is a wide-range freeze trap, so we do get the trap mechanic, but as an EX move, which is actually quite nice. He has Stern Ritter Killer and No Affiliation Killer. Now, this is big, because Stern Ritter Killer has no main lead, and this Toshiro is going to be the unit to use for Guild Quest. And on top of it all, this is literally the 5th character with strong attack damage of 20% and strong attack reaches time of minus 12%, that isn't a resurrectable character. It's crazy that they did this for another hard character when it should have been on the mind character. I don't know what they were thinking with this, but okay. He gets a new skill called Damage to Frozen Enemies of 100% with 80% SP boost and Bombardment +1. So yeah, we're gonna go over the gameplay pretty soon about that, and for some reason, they gave him a bit more nuking capabilities, when in my opinion, you just need Bombardment for Guild Quest. Like, you don't need that crazy of a nuke unless it's Nightmare with a crazy HP buff like we had this past week. But going over the character, we already know what the EX move does. We'll see the gameplay in a bit. He has Sprint +1 with Havoc of 20% and Sharpshooter, which is already a strong start with the innate abilities with Frenzy +2, 50% Berserker, Devastation 50, Bombardment, Debilitator, Team Party Heart attribute Soul Reaper damage to status summon affected enemies of 40%. This is big because Heart Soul Reapers does not have that, meaning that this guy is buffing True Shikai, which is something that we needed. So if you put Toshiro on the sidelines with True Shikai for the likes of Melee Stern Ritter, you're basically giving Ichigo the Akon buff, and it's amazing. It's gonna be really good, and it will allow you to do those crazy clear times with True Shikai. Of course, the damage to frozen enemies 100%, which is insane. Increased status summon chance against Quincy's and No Affiliation with Long Stride, Weakened Defense, Complete Status Immunity, and 80% SP boost. So the skill set is amazing. I feel like they could have just, I don't know, given him Rampage to make him a bit more of a busted character. And it's weird how we went back to Frenzy +2 with Remy and Kenpachi already having Frenzy +3. Because if you guys ask me, Toshiro's amazing. I'm not going to discredit that. But if you're going to be comparing this character to the likes of Remy, now Remy is still so much stronger. It's not even funny. Like, trust me when I say this. Remy is way too meta-shattering compared to this Toshiro right here. But he's really close. He's really close. Up next is going to be Sajin. They made him into a brave battle character, and with this, they have finally decided to completely kill off both the Mind past 1000-year blower Yamamoto and Yuha by just completely nullifying boosts and debuff. Yuha, for the longest of time in PvP, he was relevant because he was the only boosting character. And that's pretty much the reason why, even though he has gotten so many counters in the past, just by having Orihime and Mininya completely kill off Yama, Yuha was able to make it back into the meta just like that. And now we have Sajin, which is going to permanently kill off Yuha, because guess what? He's going to be completely canceling out buffs and debuffs for every Heart and Mind character. And on top of it all, they just made him into another really broken Brave Battle character. And is the first character to permanently have Flurry +3. No Flurry +1 extra for the first 10 seconds, no nothing. He just has Flurry +3 with, when at half stam, 60% normal attack damage. And to make matters even worse for this guy, he has long reach with paralysis immunity, so he cannot be completely screwed over by Yuha. Marauder, funny enough, sprint +1, and then has poise, pierce barrier, ignore brave battle invincibility, brave battle temporary invincibility, the DR, persistence, can prevent last ditch, the same brave battle stuff that you would expect out of a brave battle character. So yeah, he's gonna be among the best PvP characters, but you can kill him off with 1000-year blower Orihime, because Orihime is ranged, and this guy is going to be a melee character. So he's not going to be dethroning Orihime anytime soon, and this skill only applies to Heart and Mind characters, not tech. So Sajin is not safe from Orihime's debuff. And then up next, Soi Fon. This is the character that I feel like I'm going to be talking about the most, because this is an anniversary Part 2 character, and normally none of the characters get fumbled. If we look at the previous years, Yamamoto, Yuha, and Aizen for Part 2 back in 2022, they were all amazing and they were perfect for the content that they were designed to be used in. Last year with Yachiru Unahana, the Mind Yama, and the Tech Chojo, same exact thing. They were flawless for what they were designed to be used in. And let's just go over everything else. So Soi Fon is going to be the only character that has a singular killer, but to make matters better, she does have Human Killer Plus. All of the attacks, except the SA2, inflict paralysis and weakening. And here's the first problem. The SA2 cannot inflict status ailments. That's already going to be a bit iffy, and it's a boosting attack. The X move is going to be a mobile attack shockwave, which is pretty interesting. And she brings back the defeated enemy bonus, where once you defeat 60, you get strong attack reaches of 20% when moving in between quest areas. And then innate skill, full stamina only, reduced strong attack cooldown of 6%, which is going to help with the SA2. Basically, you're going to have to wait for 16 seconds to use the SA2 again. Also has increased ailment chance against humans, 80% SP boost. So, yeah, that's all you guys really need to know here. She has Human Killer Plus, so against humans, she's going to be really effective. Strong attack reaches time of -14% with long stride and sprint +2. So she's also going to be a really speedy queen with 5 flash steps, which is crazy. Defeated enemy bonus, here's the rest of the list. 20% stamina recovery, 30% full stamina damage boost, and the recharge that we mentioned beforehand. And then the skill set, she has Frenzy +2, Havoc of 20%, Berserker 60, Devastation 60, increased ailment chance like we've mentioned before, Debilitator of +5 seconds, Enhancer with Booster because she does boost on the second strong attack, don't forget that, and on top of that, 43% extra focus, 80% SP boost, full stamina damage boost, and paralysis immunity. Alright guys, so the first flaw that we mentioned is the fact that you cannot inflict ailments on the SA2, and that you have a bit more of an elongated cooldown with it. You have to wait for 16 seconds to use the SA2. So in guild quests, you guys will already have that kind of problem. The second problem is that she lacks guard break. I've had people come to my stream saying there's nothing wrong with not having guard break. She's good enough as is. Yes, it's going to be a problem because guard break means that you completely ignore enemy guard and be able to plow through the actual quest even faster. When you're up against any type of enemy that has guard, for the first initial hits, you're losing out on damage. Damage loss is a thing until you have broken the enemy guard, and then you have to use the other SA to kill off the enemy that is left standing. And considering this character is made for Limit Breaker quest, she even has the defeated enemy bonus set for that. She's not going to age too well in the long run because by the time you're up against the tougher mobs and they have melee guard, guess what? This Soi Fon is going to be suffering. And it's even more insulting with the skill tab right here where it's missing one skill, guard break. Like, what were they thinking? Hello? This is a part 2 Annie character. For the past 2 years, part 2 Annie was always considered the best in terms of the characters that they bring to the table. And yet, they fumbled the bag with this one. I already specified the problem for Guild Quest, but for Limit Breaker Quest, the content she was designed for, yeah, this sucks. This is not good. Because Soi Fon, she's not better than Mugetsu. She's not better than Future Society Ulquiorra. I'm sorry, but that's just not the case whatsoever. Mugetsu is still the #1 best power character in the game. She's good in Guild Quest, although you have to wait for the SA2 to come back once you have used it. Don't get me wrong. In Limit Breaker, once you get to the tougher stages, oh yeah, expect her to be struggling just a bit. Just stating that right now, right off the bat. And here's the banner. This is what it's gonna be looking like. Alright, awesome. Yuichiro Unohana does return for the first time as a filler in a year. That's amazing. And guess what? She is still one of the best characters in the game. She is still a top 10, has not fallen off whatsoever. So if you guys are planning to summon and try to go for the 5/5 on the character, best of luck. Best of luck, because she is still worth it. I have her max transcended, and I still use her to this day, a year later. She is that cracked and is still like top 2 best speed characters alongside the 9th anniversary Kenpachi. That being said, this is the only good filler to really go for, and that's it, because this Mind Yama, you can use him, but you need to pick your fights where you're going to be picking them. By that, I mean, if you use him against Sajin, goodbye. If you use him against Mininya and Orihime, goodbye. Like, you need to find characters that don't completely counter Yamamoto if you want to even be able to live. This guy does not have persistence, which is the only thing that he's missing. And then Chojiro, he's just a tech farmer. Like, he's a solid one at that, but if you guys have the likes of Halibal, you can use that, but if anything, he excels mainly in droplet farming. This Uryu, super potion farmer. If you have Halibal or Spirits Are Forever with Yugin, you don't really need this character, and this character to even be very effective, you need to get him max transcended, because without Killer, this guy's struggling against the bosses even with the Homing Vortex locked in. Yuha, same case as Yamamoto now, and as a matter of fact, because of the new Sajin, this guy is going to be completely destroyed by this Sajin right here. You cannot boost anymore, which is the one main thing that kept this character relevant for so long, and he's dead. And that's it. Those are like 5. Okay, one of the fillers is still amazing, but then you have the others that are just okay, and then 2 Brave Battle characters where you need to be careful when it comes to using them. That's it. Those are the only fillers that are worth talking about. And then the rest of the banner, you have Askin, which is unusable. They did not do justice with his resurrection, despite giving him 20% more damage to status summon infected enemies to protect Quincy. And Swimsuit Bambi was able to take advantage of that. But guess what? We now have 9th anniversary Grammy that does the job well. So consider this character to be a discount Grammy. If you don't have Grammy, sure, solid support, but if you have him, he's dead. Oetsu, he's solid in Guild Quests, for sure, but we have better characters nowadays. Ichibe is unusable in Brave Battles. Yuichiro Unohana, the hard one, is unusable in Brave Battles. Like, bro, why do we have 4 resurrectable characters? Why is the selection of characters so incomplete? Could you not have added Concord, Ichigo, and Chad? Could you not have added Aizen and Yama? Like, come on. I would have loved to be able to 5-5 Tech Aizen, but no. This is actually kind of mid. It's not that crazy. You compare this banner compared to part 1. Part 1 is way more worth summoning for, bro. On top of Grammy being the king of BBS, there's also Kenpachi, which is ridiculously amazing. Right now for Nightmare, he's not that crazy because they just made Nightmare so unfair for Kenny, to the point that even at Max Transcended, he does not outperform Grammy, but it's because of the rules. We don't have the killer sticker for Kenny, and on top of it, same HP for when you use Grammy. But the fillers are so much better. Like, hello? Way better. You have White, which is still amazing. You have GQ NAD units that you can actually make use out of. Rukia is still the best for melee Espada, and then you have this Nell right here for range captain, which is amazing. Wonder Weiss for no affiliation. Just this character is bad. You can use this character for ranged Quincy guild quest if you do not have Ulk. This Ruruka is great for Limit Breaker quest. This Soi Fon is okay as support, but besides that, she's kind of a dead character. This Rukia, good for IT, but overall, she still is a failure for guild quests and in Limit Breaker quests because of that SA2 of hers. She's getting screwed off right off the bat. Oh, hold on. Let me include the traditional meme that I made for this.
You f***ing failure!
So yeah, part 1 is a much better banner to go after if you guys care about them. Even if they're premiums, even if half the banner is with seasonals and premiums, it's 10 times better than what part 2 has to offer. And it's sad because we went back to Frenzy Plus 2 when both Kenny and Grammy have Frenzy Plus 3 and just completely shatter the meta. It's not even funny. So yeah, at the end of the day, if you guys are planning to summon on this 1000-Year Blower banner, you're only really looking out for Soi Fon for just guild quests, because she is still the only character that can tackle on melee human where you don't have to worry about guard breaking enemy foes, and you can still kill off the smaller mobs, and against the bosses she'll do okay. But we might even get a better replacement because the SA2 can actually screw her over, especially with the long cooldowns. Toshiro is great. I think there's nothing wrong with him. I just wish that they gave him directly Frenzy Plus 3 to put him in competition with Grammy, and once again follow the trend of always having part 2 being the best of the anniversary. And then Sajin just for PvP at the end of the day. But he is the only NAD character with Stern Ritter Killer. So I'm gonna point that out right now, because what do we have for melee Stern Ritter that we can use in terms of NAD characters? Absolutely nothing. There's literally nothing unless you have a Max Transcended True Shikai Ichigo and you rely on characters that can actually buff his DPS output. You just don't have anything. You're not using the Tsukishima anymore. He is mega dead now at this point with the arrival of Sajin. Chad, he loses his damage once you inflict the ailment, so he's gonna be even worse than Tsukishima. And then this Yama, same exact thing. So if anything, Sajin being a brave battle character with Stern Ritter Killer, and the fact that you can use him in Guild Quest, and already being better than all 3 of these characters combined, despite not having GQ specific skills besides Flurry Plus 3, I think it's quite solid. So I'm gonna take it for what it is and call it a bit of a W. A bit. Alright guys, now going over the gameplay. Again, Toshiro is easily the best character in the banner, and it's good that he has Stern Ritter Killer, because once again, we have no range character that can actually make use out of. Just now comes close, but she doesn't even have the SP boost, despite being given really good multipliers. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. The model is pretty sick. I don't mind it whatsoever. And yeah, he has a 3k length beam on the SA1. SA2 seems to be like the suction into explosion kind of attack, so it being used as an SA2 is actually kind of nice, but it is a new type of strong attack. So there's that. And let's take a look at the EX move. Yeah, this is the EX move. So it's really nice seeing that implemented as an EX move directly rather than an SA3. It just means that you'll have equal strong attack cooldown time as any other character. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, let's take a look at the soul bomb animation. because we've seen most of the kids. So yeah, he's gonna be really amazing in Guild Quest. In Limit Breaker Quest, I see no problem when it comes to using this character as a ranged no affiliation character. He's gonna cook. He is easily going to cook. The Nat String also looks nice. So yeah, pulls in into explosion. So yeah, it's just gonna leave him locked in place, but I feel like this is gonna be really amazing for getting these status elements to proc and you do the 100% damage to frozen enemies. Like, trust, it's gonna be really good. On top of the trap, so yeah. Although I'm not too big of a fan as of the special move animation, I wish there was a bit more oomph to it because this 2D artwork behind Toshiro just feels way too weird. I get what they were going for, but like, I don't know. I don't think it's as good as the anime. There have been soul bombs that have been as good as the anime, but this is not one of them for me. But that's just my personal biased opinion, so pay no mind to it. And now let's take a look at Sajin real quick. I think that this guy is going to be pretty toxic in Brave Battles, but not matter-shattering like Orihime, so there's that. You can choose to skip this character. But the Nat String is insane. Like, that reach! That's ridiculous. And he has the Dangai Joe active, so yeah. And this is his performance in Brave Battles, which is what you guys want to see at the end of the day. But yeah, there you go. He completely blocks off Yama's debuff and Yuha's buff. It's not even funny. I'm kind of glad it's only against Mind and Heart because it does balance it out a bit and not make him super toxic. So there's that. I was never too much of a fan of Brave Battles, but I can understand why people are kind of disappointed with him being the Brave Battle character and why he's not too overly toxic. But yeah, there he goes. But yeah, there you guys go. Other than that, Meninia can still counter Sajin. I hope you guys know that. But yeah. Also, if you guys want to use him for PvE, he's actually going to be a really fun character with that new Nat String of his. Actually, to be honest, this is what I wanted out of melee Nat characters, to have new Nat Strings, to make them on par with some of the SP characters, even though they're nothing too crazy. It'll just make them be a bit more competitive, because for the longest of time, melee Nat has never been better than range characters. And look at that, he has the Walking Vortex. That is so nice. It's crazy too, because the Spirits Are Forever With You one also had that, so yeah. It's not that they gave him Marauder, but wow. It's so stupid how this guy gets Marauder, but Soi Fon doesn't. But yeah, let's take a look at the special move animation. That is a clean Soul Bomb animation. Already better than Toshiro's. Yeah, there's Soi Fon. Model is a bit weird though. I feel like there's a bit too much light on her face, but I can understand what they went for. It's good that they made her SP, but once again, they kind of fumbled the bag with not giving her guard break. Also, can I just say one thing? You have the EX move. You have not made the SA2 a regular strong attack and made the EX move being able to boost. Like, Remy took way better advantage of that EX move than Soi Fon. It's not even funny.
She also has the EX move, Mobile Attack Shockwave. The Renee skills percent. Since all of Soi Fon's attacks,
here's the gameplay. Oh, SA1. She has the flies in SA1. So with Havoc, it's gonna be a 900 radius lunge, which is awesome. But god damn it, it's such a miss with no guard break. Now, you're not gonna see it in gameplay because they have designed a limit breaker quest where the enemies don't have melee guard for now. So for now, in this type of round, she's gonna be pretty solid. But in the long run, when they put in humans that do have melee guard, yeah, her performance is going to be heavily affected. It's not even gonna be funny, even if you use her off killer. Except for Oronkrus, because those are the only mobs that don't have melee guard. So that's pretty much it. The SA2 problem isn't going to be too noticeable in PV quests as you move along the map area, so it works. And there's the EX move. It's pretty cool, but it doesn't seem like it does the best damage. That's the thing. And again, SA2, you cannot inflict ailments. Like I stated before, you just cannot do that. Which is pretty stupid. Which is why, again, I would have preferred if the EX move was the boosting attack. It would have been so much better. But yeah. I think we've seen enough of the K. You guys get what I mean. In Guild Quest, the whole guard break problem is not going to be too apparent, but for PvE in the long run, especially since she's a Limit Breaker quest character, yeah, it's going to be a problem. And not a lot of people are paying attention to that. Like, people are saying, oh my gosh, she does enough damage. She has so much cooldown reduction. Lads, it's a problem.
Is the second strong attack. Strong attack 2 deals damage straight ahead. This attack
yeah. Other than that, she has a 9-6. But yeah, she has a 900 lunge and a 3k length beam on the SA2.
This attack goes full screen.
But yeah, it is what it is. Alright, let's take a look at the Soul Bomb animation. Yeah, definitely great. If you guys were to ask me in order of how I rank the special move animations, Soi Fon would easily take #1 for me, Sajin #2, and Toshiro #3. That's just my personal preference about the Soul Bomb animations. But yeah, there you guys go. Toshiro is amazing, but it's sad that this time around, for the first time in over 2 years, they have made the Part 1 characters better than Part 2. Both in the 6th anniversary and the 5th year, they have made Part 1 characters better than Part 2. And now we're back to that. So, yeah. It's sad, but it is what it is. These 9th anniversary characters that are premium are just way better to go after. But I'm going to be doing a Should You Summon before the banner goes live and just inform you guys once again if you guys should do it or not. So, yeah. Y'all have a wonderful day, lads. Let me know how you guys think about the characters in the comment section down below. I think I've stated enough. The video is already too long as is. Yeah. Bye. Have a pleasant one. Peace out. Bye. Sayonara.